World War III. The solution is trade. What's up, fam? My name is Mr. Beckman here with INFYNIT TV and my uncensored exclusive content only on INFYNIT TV. So make sure to check the link below. Stay tuned to the I2 solution and watch my uncensored videos on blockchain freedom, available only to the uncensored premium members, where I'm showing you now the basics of crypto trading for profit, what I do to take profit. You can protect yourself against the United States dollar crash. You can protect yourself against the banking crash, and you can prosper just like the rich. Now, today in this video, I'm going to share with you a pretty weird concept. How can trade and commerce amongst other human beings throughout the world be the solution to World War III? It's a great question, and I want you to like this video, share, and subscribe if you like this information, because this is critically important that we watch, learn this stuff, and share it as far and wide as we can. So, to begin with, I'm going to share my screen, and I really hope this works for you guys. Okay, now hopefully you can see my screen. All right, World War III. Right now, there's a lot of talk in the news and media going on about World War III, and I'm just going to scroll down here briefly for you. If you didn't know this, and if you didn't know that this was going on, FYI, there are right now 471,000 results, and you can see here that there are different politicians warning that right now, this war going on between Putin in Russia and Zelensky, the president, formerly comedic actor of Ukraine, could very well put us on the brink of World War III. Now, I'm not saying because he's a comedic actor right now that he's acting in his current role as president of the Ukraine. But maybe you are. Leave a comment below with what you think's going on. Now, the Russian-Ukraine war, it's going on. Why could it put us on the brink of World War III? Well, if something happens big time, Russia has nukes. If the United States or China need to get involved, they have nukes. Basically, one leader pushes that red button, and it could be all over for humanity. Now, you might not think that there's anything that you can do to stop that. And I'm going to share with you some proven historical points that every time solve world wars and global conflict and crisis. It's going to seem a little random. It might seem a little tangential, but let me prove it to you. There is a dude, his name was Edmund Burke. He was a UK citizen. He was a member of the government. He's a famous writer. He's thought to have been one of the founding fathers of modern day economics and modern day democracy. In fact, depending on who you listen to and agree with, his writings might actually be the current foundation of the modern day democracy and government systems that are used here in the United States of America's constitutional republic. So he's a pretty rad dude who I value very much, and I go back and look at his writings. You're already familiar with some of his quotes, even if you didn't know it. One of his quotes is something along the lines of, all that is required for evil to succeed or thrive in this world is for good men to do nothing. So you probably heard that quote. You might not have known it was Edmund Burke's. Well, Edmund also talked a lot about trade, commerce, and economics. And what he said here was, free trade is not based on utility, but on justice. Now, in Edmund Burke's writings, I pulled up another page here so you can see about 22 quotes. This is a painting from back in the day of him, so you can kind of get a look of what he might have looked like. And there's a number of quotes that this man is famous for having said. The top one here, it says, "He who profits of a superior understanding raises his power to the height of the superior understanding he unites with." Why am I bringing up Edmund Burke, and why does trade potentially the solution for war? This is what I mean. So Edmund Burke taught us in his writings that were fundamental at the time. He was in the UK. He was in London. He was a member of the government. And he said, you know what? I bet you the safest, simplest, easiest way for us to prevent war and conflict amongst nations is to encourage free trade amongst the people of those nations. What does that mean? It means if I'm doing business with you, and let's say you're watching this video, you're a Russian businessman, okay? Oh, but we don't want to do business with people in Russia or China because they're evil, because the media tells us so. Time out, fact check. Did you know that the people in Russia and China, they're just like you and me? They have families, they have bills to pay, and by and large, everyone in general is very good. It's only a very small percentage of people that are sociopathic or psychopathic and thrive off of taking advantage of other humans. Believe it or not, the majority of people in China, the majority of people in Russia, the majority of humans all over the world are good people, just like you and I. They're parents, they have families, and if they make money, it's really just because they want to provide their kids and their future family with safety, security, and their basic necessities, just like you and I do. So why does trade represent the solution for World War III, and always will represent a solution and a greater option than conflict amongst nations? This is why. Because imagine we started doing so much business right now with Russian business people and Russian business owners. Imagine we started doing so much business right now with Chinese business owners, Chinese humans, just like you and I. Well, if the trade and the amount of money that we were sending back and forth with each other in business got to such a high level that it was more money than the cost of those countries going to war with each other, let's say the United States and China, or the United States and Russia, if there was more money taking place in business and trade amongst those amongst those countries that outweighed the cost of going to war, those nations will never go to war with each other. It's that simple. That's the answer to this current war and all past human conflict and all future human conflict. If we could learn to somehow do more business with each other, and we did so much money in business with each other that it was more money than the cost of going to war, the nations wouldn't spend the money to launch the nukes or bomb each other because it would affect the business. And economy and economics and commerce will win out every single time over war and conflict. And that is historical fact. That's not my opinion. These are straight facts. So this is how we save the world. This is how we save the world from entering into World War III. We need to figure out to just ignore the divide and conquering strategy that the evil people in power use their media to penetrate your mind. All right. So right now, if you're watching this and you're American in general, Chinese bad, Chinese communism, Chinese bad. Well, guess what? That doesn't apply to a lot of the people living over there in China. I know them. I've met them. I've spoken to them. They are brilliant. They are honest people. They are good people by and large. And most of them that I've met and spoken to don't like the Chinese Communist Party either. They want something more like what we have in the free democratic countries and nations of the world. Russians, good people. They're actually generally a little bit colder, a little bit more sterner, and a little bit rougher around the edges when you first meet them. But hang out with them, socialize with them, and get some vodka into them, and you'll realize they're actually a bunch of big softies. They're pretty tough softies, but then you can sort of empathize and understand the world and the societal conditions that they grew up in that made them who they are. All right? Some of the greatest literature we have ever had, some of the smartest intellects ever thought to have lived, have been Russians. And you can look up their literature, and just reading one of their books will change your life. So humans all over the world are good humans, but the people in power can either be good or they can be evil, sociopathic, narcissistic. And in order to get their way, to get some power or control over another nation, don't think that it's beyond them to manipulate you through the media to think that they're evil. So this is my solution. We start doing more trade with each other, but that gets hard because the banking system is hard. The merchant processing system is hard. Visa, Amex, Discovery Card, these merchant processors, believe it or not, are the gatekeepers to a lot of consumers, people that could buy your products all over the world. And they're sure not making it easy for you to do business right now. No, siree. No, they are not. But what if a solution existed that would make it easier, faster, more secure for us to do business, to buy goods and services internationally, to sell our products internationally? What if we could meet up with other entrepreneurs from other countries and say, listen, you know what? Let's start doing business with each other. What if you became so successful in business that you made enough money where you and your friends that you're doing business with in each of the respective countries could start using those monies to lobby the politicians to get them to do what you want? Well, did you know that that's mostly how the world works right now? The biggest businesses have the most money, they pay the most politicians, and the politicians don't actually represent you. They just pretend, by and large, to represent you in their political speeches leading up to them getting voted into power. As soon as they're in office, the people that really paid them to get the airtime to talk to you, to pretend to you that they wanted to represent you and your best interests, are then taking the marching orders from the big corporate execs that run them. Politicians, not every single one of them, but most of them, by and large, the vast majority, just take phone calls from their puppet masters, big corporate and special interests. Well, how did those big corporate and special interests get as big as they were? Through succeeding in business. So this is how we can ultimately, the most tried, proven, tested way, start to help the world make money, succeed more, use your money to gain political influence, realize that the humans that are around the world that resonate with the same values and visions of what they want the world to be as you are good people too. Start doing that business. And if we can get the economics, the trade going on right now between the United States and China and the United States and Russia higher than the cost of going to war, those nations will never, ever, ever go to war. And right now, it's more powerful than ever. This is the end of this free YouTube video because I'm about to get into some money-making tips and strategies that I use myself personally to easily take profit, to easily make money. And therefore, this next part of this video, part 2, is only for the uncensored premium subscribers at INFYNIT TV. And I have to do that for legal reasons. When you sign up at INFYNIT TV, you click the terms of service, you agree that this is all just entertainment information, that this is not financial advice, and it protects you and I more so legally. So if you want to watch part 2 and you want to learn how I'm encouraging greater trade and how I'm taking profit for myself and my family easily through this next thing I'm going to share in this video, then make sure to click the link below, go to INFYNIT TV, and check out the next episode of the Arai Beckman Show, which is coming soon, only to INFYNIT TV. Thank you for watching. If you like this, please leave a like. Please leave a comment. Please share this video because we want this information to grow. I want to empower you with greater financial freedom, a greater understanding of what's happening throughout the world of finance so that you can take the same actions the rich are too. I was raised in a very successful family in Canada. I have run my own publicly traded companies and produced great financial success in the public markets. As an entrepreneur, I have run businesses that have achieved millions of dollars in revenue and have hundreds of thousands of people throughout the world become a part of them. And I don't think there's anything special about myself. I actually think that I'm a pretty boring dude that just focuses on stuff long enough to figure it out. But I do the things I love. And I'm hoping through my 2 shows on INFYNIT TV, the Arai Beckman Show and Blockchain Freedom Show, that I can start showing you over time the same things I've learned to do to succeed and thrive in life. And you can too. Be well. Much love.